Hi everyone, this is Carrie for Redesign with Prima, and today I'm going to show you some beautiful DIY decor using our Decor Poly. I made them into these beautiful little elegant trees on stands, and they will look so amazing on a mantle, a window, a shelf, anything you choose, and it was really easy to do. So I'm going to share my ideas and how I made this happen. Here is the vintage inlay Decor Poly. It has beautiful detail, and I knew I wanted to cut it in half and make it into two of my trees. You just simply take a knife and cut it apart. Now my knife is not very sharp, and I didn't realize that until I started cutting, but it still did the trick. The Decor Poly is odorless, it's bendable, and it takes just about any medium I've thrown at it. It's been actually really user-friendly. Yeah, there, I'm struggling with my knife just a little, but there you go. There's two of my trees so far. And now I'm going to add a layer of the antique sage chalk paste. So the chalk paste goes over this so beautifully, and it has a chalky finish. So it gives you kind of that vintage chalky look. And I'm just dabbing it into all the crevices with my brush. I did mist it with a little bit of water to help that chalk paste move around, because the paste does tend to get a little thicker. So a little bit of misting of water helps it move into all those little nooks and crannies. And you can get away with one coat and let some of that gray show through, or do two. It's totally up to you. Now I do the same thing with our Regal Finesse Decor Polys also. And I use the crescent green chalk paste on that. And it's a beautiful green color. It's very rich. So now I'm going to add another layer to my trees. And this is our Tiger's Eye Glaze. And the glaze, you just want to pick up with your brush lightly and then go over it, just kind of skim over the surface just to highlight a lot of those details. I don't want absolute coverage. I just want to highlight it a little bit, and a little bit of this stuff goes a long way. I love it. And I actually use more of this glaze to help coordinate the rest of the decor that I use around these trees, which you'll see soon. And you just want them to dry before you start handling. But I'll tell you what, it dries really, really fast. And I'm just using a baby wipe to wipe away a little bit of the excess, because I just wanted it to cover some of those details and show them off. If you add too much, you can take away with the baby wipe. If you don't add enough, you can always go back in with the brush and add more. It's a very, very user-friendly product to use. And I'll show you what they look like in the sun. They gleam and glimmer, and they're so beautiful. Here you can see how it looks layered, and I just love it. Now next I'm going to work on my little stands. So I just bought these little inexpensive dowels and coasters at the craft store. And I drilled a hole in the middle of the coasters. I did 3, so it would be a nice little stand. And I drilled a hole the same size as the dowel, and then attached it with super glue. And here I'm just adding the tiger's eye to the base, and I didn't need to prime it. I just went in with the tiger's eye, and it worked perfectly. It saved me a step, because I was wondering how it would cover this wood, and it covered it beautifully. And it also dries really quickly, so you can keep moving along with your project. And here, yeah, there it is. There's the dowel already painted, and it fits in there perfectly. So that was really cool. I cut the dowels at different lengths just because I want my trees to kind of look staggered when I have them all together. And I just used like a super glue to glue these on the back. I use like a gel glue, and it dries and grabs really fast. It's not drippy. So again, I can keep just moving along with this project. And I did the same for the base. I just added a little drop of that super glue. See how pretty? I am so excited. I love how these turned out. Next, I took these really inexpensive little, little pine swags I got from the dollar store. Now, they weren't really to my liking. I'm not like a traditional red and green Christmas girl. And I wanted to match the trees. So, because I'm going to layer these all over the bottom of my stands and make kind of like my own little scene. The antique sage chalk paste brushed over this dark green gave it kind of a juniper look, which is what I really wanted to go for. It softened it quite a bit, and it made it more earthy as well. Then I went in with the chalky white chalk paste and started to dab all over those little berries. I just wanted to give them a frosted look. And you'll end up seeing I changed my mind a little bit with this, but this gives you a great idea on how you can change things up and give it just, a little bit of a different look with the paste. It goes on everything like this, any kind of surface like plastic or anything shiny, it will go on and stay on. That's what I love about the chalk paste. I can use it with confidence and know that once I put it on there, it's not coming off. And I'm also dabbing the pine cones with a little bit of a frosted look and going back to those greens as well. Just lightening up the whole look of these little swags. They were so cheap and they kind of look cheap, to be honest. But now after adding my art mediums, they look so much more high end. And this is another find, and I end up adding the antique sage too for another project, which is coming up soon. And I can't wait to show you, but that's another example of something you could add the chalk paste to. Now here I changed my mind a bit. Instead of the frosted berries, I went in with that tiger's eye glaze on the berries. The chalk paste acted as actually a wonderful primer for these berries, so the glaze went over them really easily and beautifully. And I think I added about 2 layers of this tiger's eye glaze just to cover up the red for the most part, but I love how it sparkles. Now these gold swags, they were kind of interesting in shape. I love them. They're very cheap, but a little too gold for my taste. So I just dry brushed some of that antique sage over them, not completely covering, but just, dulling them down just a little bit. And I think they came out so great. And here is everything put together. Here are my trees and my swags at the bottom. I added black satin ribbon to the dowels underneath the trees. I layered all of my greenery, and then I added those mercury lights. They're like little mercury balls. They're battery operated, and you can find them on Amazon or craft stores. So be on the lookout for something like that. And it just glows. I think everything came together so beautifully. I end up doing another budget-friendly DIY project that coordinates with these, so stay tuned for that coming up very soon. You guys are going to love it. But thanks so much for watching. All of the products will be linked in the description for you. And if you have any comments or questions, please feel free to ask. And let me know if you end up making these. We appreciate you watching. Thanks so much. And please follow us for more DIYs.